So what do you do when you find out your entire identity, your whole life, is a lie? Well, today, we're going to break down the incredible story of Vampirella's necrogravity abilities. And this isn't just about her getting some cool new powers. It's about a journey of taking absolute psychological chaos and forging it into an unstoppable force. Okay, let's get into it.
And this, right here, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? For literally decades, Vampirella's history was a complete mess. Was she an alien from the planet Draculon, or was she the daughter of the mythological Lilith? The thing is, this wasn't just some writer's continuity problem. It was a deliberate, in-universe psychological attack on her.
So we start our story not with a hero, but with a prisoner. She's completely trapped by a past, or, well, multiple pasts, that were forced on her. None of them were her choice, and each one is pulling her in a completely different direction.
And who's the mastermind behind this prison? Her own mother, Lilith. This image just perfectly captures that core trauma. Lilith used a magic mirror not to show her daughter the truth, but to literally implant conflicting stories into her head, shattering her sense of self and leaving her totally lost in the pieces.
You know, there's actually a word for this. It's a specific psychological state called ressentiment. And it's so much more than just being confused. It's this deep, almost toxic resentment you feel towards the person who created you. This feeling of total powerlessness because your whole identity is just a reaction to what you've been told you are, not who you actually chose to be.
Now, every great story of transformation needs a catalyst, right? Something to shake things up. For Vampirella, it shows up as this incredibly dangerous and powerful artifact that, kind of poetically, perfectly mirrors her own internal chaos.
Meet the Lunerys Arcadian. We can just call it the moonstone. And yeah, this is no ordinary magic rock, not by a long shot. It's a literal piece of a dead world's core. Think about that. It contains the crystallized memories of an entire extinct race and the raw gravitational power of a celestial body. But of course, there's a huge catch. The stone, it has its own agenda. It wants to bring its old world back to life. And its plan to do that is to basically eat our world, to consume Earth's entire biosphere as fuel. So the stakes just jumped from a personal identity crisis to a full-blown apocalypse.
And that's the thing. She can't just smash this stone to bits. Its power is way too immense, and now it's bonded to her. So her only option is to master it. She has to absorb the entire essence of a dead world and get it under her control, becoming the one thing that can keep its world-ending instincts in check.
And this is where things get really fascinating. Mastering this stone unlocks a completely new set of powers, something the comics call necrogravity. And it's the perfect blend of the two warring sides of her identity.
Okay, so what I love about this is how it breaks down this fusion. This isn't just two power sets working next to each other, it's a true synthesis. You've got the Necro aspect, which is pure occult sorcery from the dead world Arcadia. It totally echoes the chaotic magic of her mother, Lilith. Then you have the gravity aspect. That's gravimetric science straight from the stone's celestial core, reflecting her alien heritage from Draculon. So magic and science, they're not in conflict anymore. They're fused into one cohesive power. This is the whole key to her transformation. She doesn't have to choose an origin anymore. She can draw strength from both.
Let's look a little closer at the necro side of things. We're not just talking about raising a few skeletons here. She's tapping into something called sanctified necromancy. She's channeling the Arcadian echo, the actual spirits of that extinct race, to turn death magic against evil itself. This part also gives her control over shadows, drawing energy from the permanent darkness on the far side of Draculon's moon. It's a power literally born from a dead world and a dark moon. How cool is that?
Then you've got the other side, gravity. And this is just pure cosmic science. The stone lets her manipulate gravity fields, which shows up as this powerful tactile telekinesis. She can even fly, basically, by altering her own personal gravity. She can reinforce any object she's holding and make it pretty much indestructible. It's this incredibly precise, scientific control over one of the universe's fundamental forces.
And what does all this add up to? A frankly staggering upgrade in her raw power. Her strength gets boosted into the 85 to 100-ton range. I mean, we're talking about someone who can now catch falling airplanes, tear through military-grade bunkers like they're made of paper. This puts her in a whole new weight class.
So, when you put it all together, what can she actually do?
Well, you get this incredibly versatile arsenal. She can pull a tank apart with her mind, she can ask murder victims who killed them, she can create shields out of bones, teleport through any shadow in an instant, and even forge solid weapons out of pure darkness.
But here's the thing. All these powers would be pretty much meaningless without a huge shift in her mindset. The real breakthrough for her isn't physical, it's philosophical. She has to completely change how she sees her own broken past.
This is the moment where everything just clicks into place. She has this profound realization. There is no single, true origin story for her to find. The chaos, the contradictions, all the lies her mother fed her, she realizes that is her truth. The flawed journey itself is the destination. And this image just nails the result. Instead of collapsing under the weight of all these contradictory memories, she just accepts them all. Alien, demon, hero, victim, all of them are true. This makes her what the comics call a self-begotten state. She's a closed loop that defines herself from the inside out. I mean, think about it. How can you manipulate someone who's already embraced every single lie as a part of their story? You can't. And this revelation is what finally transforms her. She goes from being just a character in someone else's twisted story to becoming the author of her very own legend. She's no longer a prisoner, she's a queen.
Crowned in thorns, a symbol of all her suffering that she's now turned into a mark of royalty, she finally solidifies her new identity. She has rejected the idea that she needs one single clean origin story. Instead, she has built her throne on the beautiful, chaotic mess of her own creation.
And this is her ultimate declaration of independence. It's a direct message to her mother, to her creators, to anyone who ever tried to define her. She's basically saying, you don't get to write my story anymore. She accepts every lie, every twist, and in doing so, she finally gets to write her own. Which leaves us with this final, really provocative question to think about. By weaponizing every lost timeline and every forgotten origin, she's become something new, something the universe tried to erase. So, if you can draw power from the very realities that the universe itself has tried to forget, what could possibly stand in your way?